The 5 essential personal finance formulas everyone should know. Let's be honest, you've been told your whole life to get good with money, but what does that even mean? It feels like everyone has an opinion: save more, invest aggressively, stop buying coffee, but nobody ever actually shows you the math. That confusion leads to stress, feeling like you're constantly playing catch-up, and let's face it, just winging it. You're working hard, you're trying to do the right thing, but the numbers just never seem to add up. But what if I told you that financial clarity wasn't some big, vague secret? What if it just came down to 5 simple formulas? In this video, I'm going to walk you through each one step by step. We're going to cut through the noise so you can stop guessing and start building a real financial future. Let's get into it. Alright, the very first formula is the most important number in your financial life, and it's wild how many people never even calculate it. Think of it as your personal financial scoreboard. It's the net worth formula. Net worth equals total assets minus total liabilities. That's it. It's beautifully simple. Let's break it down. Assets are everything you own that has value. We're talking cash in the bank, your investment and retirement accounts, the value of your house, even what your car is worth. If you can sell it for money, it's an asset. Liabilities are just a fancy word for everything you owe. This is all your debt, credit card balances, student loans, your car loan, the mortgage, you name it. So why is this the master number? Because your net worth is the truest snapshot of your financial health. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and build. I know people who make huge salaries but have a negative net worth because their debts are even bigger. On the flip side, someone with a modest income can build an incredible net worth over time just by managing their money well. Checking this number every 6 months or so tells you if you're actually winning the game. When it goes up, you know you're on the right track. Let's run a quick example. Imagine you've got $15,000 in savings, $25,000 in investments, and a car worth $10,000. Your total assets are $50,000. Now let's say you have $18,000 in student loans and a $3,000 credit card balance. Your total liabilities are $21,000. Your net worth is $50,000 in assets minus $21,000 in liabilities, which comes out to $29,000. That number, $29,000, is your starting line. The only goal is to make it grow. And please don't be discouraged if your number is low or even negative. That's super common, especially if you have a mortgage or student loans. For a lot of people, just getting to zero is a massive win. The point is to know your number and start making moves to improve it. Okay, so we've got the 30,000-foot view with net worth. Now, let's zoom into your day-to-day reality. This brings us to formula number 2, which I call the lifestyle formula. You probably know it as the cash flow formula. Net cash flow equals total income minus total expenses. This little equation is your monthly report card. It tells you, flat out, if you're living within your means. Your income is every dollar that comes in. Your paycheck after taxes, side hustle money, whatever. Your expenses are, well, everything you spend money on. Bills, groceries, rent, fun, all of it. If your income is bigger than your expenses, you have a positive cash flow. This is the good stuff. This is the extra money you can use to save, invest, and attack your debt. It's your financial profit for the month. If your expenses are bigger than your income, you have a negative cash flow. This is a flashing red light. It means you're overspending and likely digging yourself deeper into debt just to keep up with your current lifestyle. Let's look at an example. Say your monthly take-home pay is $4,000. You add up all your spending for the month, rent, food, car, utilities, and fun, and find you spent $3,600. Your cash flow is $4,000 minus $3,600, which leaves you with a positive $400. That $400 is your power. It's the tool you use to build wealth. If that number was negative $400, it would be a clear sign that you need to either earn more or, more immediately, find places to cut back. You simply can't build a solid financial future if you're spending more than you make. So you know your net worth and your monthly cash flow. But how do you actually manage that cash flow without feeling like you're just guessing? How do you know if you're spending on the right things? That's where our third formula comes in, the 50-30-20 budgeting rule. Now, this isn't a strict law of physics. Think of it more as a powerful roadmap for your after-tax income. 50% for needs. These are your absolute must-haves. We're talking housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, and the minimum payments on your debts. If you can't live without it, it's a need. 30% for wants. This is the fun stuff, the things that make life worth living but aren't essential for survival. Think dining out, Netflix, hobbies, vacations, and that new gadget you've been eyeing. 20% for savings and debt repayment. This is the category that builds your future. This is for your emergency fund, retirement accounts, investments, and any extra payments you make to obliterate your debt. This rule, which was popularized by U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, is all about bringing clarity to your spending. It gives you permission to enjoy your money today, while making sure you're taking care of your future self. Let's use that $4,000 monthly income again. Following the 50-30-20 rule, needs, 50%, you'd have about $2,000 for rent, bills, and groceries. Wants, 30%, you'd get $1,200 for entertainment, hobbies, and fun. Savings and debt, 20%, you'd have $800 to put toward your big financial goals. The beauty here is its flexibility. If you live in an expensive city, maybe your needs are closer to 60%. That's okay. It just means you have to adjust your wants. If you're on a mission to destroy your debt, you might slash your wants and pump up the savings and debt category. It's a framework, not a prison. It stops the end-of-month panic of wondering where all your money went. Our fourth formula is how you measure your financial risk, and it's a number that lenders are obsessed with. It's your debt-to-income, or DTI ratio. DTI equals total monthly debt payments divided by gross monthly income times 100. Your DTI shows you exactly what percentage of your monthly income gets eaten by debt payments before you even get a chance to spend it. And notice for this one, you use your gross monthly income. That's your salary before taxes. Your debt payments are the minimums on everything: mortgage, car loan, student loans, credit cards. Why does this matter so much? Because it shows how stretched you are. A high DTI means a huge chunk of your income is already gone, leaving you very little wiggle room for, life. It's why banks use this to decide if you can handle new debt, like a mortgage. Generally, lenders want to see a DTI of 36% or less. If you're between 36% and 49%, they might see you as a bit of a risk. And if your DTI is over 50%, you're in the danger zone and will likely struggle to get approved for new loans. Let's do the math. Let's say your gross monthly income is $5,000. Your monthly debts are a $1,200 mortgage, a $300 car payment, and a $200 student loan payment. That's $1,700 total. Your DTI would be $1,700 divided by $5,000 times 100, which is 34%. A DTI of 34% is considered pretty healthy. It tells lenders, and more importantly it tells you, that your debt is at a manageable level. If you see this number starting to creep up, it's a massive warning sign to cool it on new debt and focus on paying down what you already have. We've saved the most powerful, most magical formula for last. This is the one Albert Einstein supposedly called the eighth wonder of the world. It's the magic of compound interest. The official formula looks a little scary, I'll admit. A equals P times open parenthesis 1 plus R over N close parenthesis to the power of NT, but don't get hung up on the alphabet soup. The concept is incredibly simple. Compound interest is your money making money. It's earning interest on your interest. Think of it like a snowball. You start with a small snowball at the top of a hill. As you roll it, it picks up more snow and gets bigger. But here's the magic. The bigger the snowball gets, the more snow it picks up with every single turn. Its growth starts to accelerate like crazy. That is compound interest in action. Here's a practical example. No complex formula needed. Let's say you invest $1,000 and earn a 10% return in a year. You now have $1,100. The next year, you don't just earn 10% on your original $1,000, you earn it on the full $1,100. So you make $110, bringing your total to $1,210. That extra $10, that was money your money earned for you. It might not sound like a big deal at first, but over time, the results are mind-blowing. If you invest $500 a month starting at age 25 with an average 8% annual return, you could have over $1 million by age 65. But if you wait until 35 to start, you'd have to invest more than double that every month to end up in the same place. This is a double-edged sword, though. This formula can make you wealthy when you invest, but it can bury you when you borrow. High-interest credit card debt is the terrifying power of compound interest working against you. This is why understanding this concept is everything. It teaches you the most important rule of building wealth. Start as early as you possibly can, even if you can only start small. Okay, let's sum everything up. These are the 5 essential formulas that can completely reframe your financial life. The net worth formula, your financial scoreboard. The cash flow formula, to make sure you're living on less than you make. the 50-30-20 rule, to give every dollar a job, the debt-to-income ratio, your personal risk meter, and compound interest, the engine that will quietly build your wealth while you sleep. Money doesn't have to be this big, scary, confusing thing. By understanding and using these 5 formulas, you can go from feeling uncertain to being in complete control. You now have the tools to see where you are, decide where you want to go, and build a real plan to get there. You've got this. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for more videos on how to build the financial life you deserve. And drop a comment below which of these formulas was the biggest eye-opener for you. See you in the next video.